Hi again, everybody. This is Patty from the Women's Resource Center. And in our last video, we really just talked about what the Women's Resource Center can help with. And I introduced you to the idea of the hotline number. So hopefully you guys all wrote down that number or have it somewhere in case you ever need it. Hopefully you don't ever need it, but just in case you have it. And one of the ways that I like to ensure that you won't need it is to help make sure that you understand what a good, healthy relationship looks like. So last time I told you that the Women's Resource Center helps people in unhealthy or abusive relationships, but it really helps before we talk about any of that stuff. It helps to really know what a good, healthy relationship is. So I'd like you just to take a moment and think to yourself, what are some good qualities in a relationship? What's hashtag relationship goals? What are some things that you would like to experience? And this could be with your friends, this could be with dating partners, this could be with anybody, right? Because we are talking about all relationships. A lot of times when it comes to unhealthy or abusive relationships, people focus on the dating relationships. But one of the questions I always like to ask is about unhealthy or toxic friendships. So I'm sure most of you realize that friendships can also be unhealthy. So as you're thinking about what makes a healthy relationship, think about all your relationships. What do the people in your life that you like to spend time with, the ones that encourage you, the ones that make you happy, what sort of things do they do? Do they respect you? Do they listen? Do they support and encourage you? Do they give you snacks? Well, there's no right or wrong answer to any of this stuff, but I really want you to take a couple minutes and think about the good, healthy relationships in your life. So you can make a little list, grab a piece of paper, just jot down on one side, you could jot down who the people are. Maybe it's your mom or dad, maybe it's a friend, maybe it's a teacher, a classmate, somebody on one of your teams. Everybody always wants to know if they could put their dog. If you have a great relationship with your pet, that's good. But we're going to get into some aspects that the pets probably can't help with. But if you love your dog, put them down there. So on that side, you're going to write their names, who they are. On the other side of the paper, I want you to write what they do. What are those things? Are they hugs? Are they snacks? How do they listen? Is it somebody who listens without judging? Somebody who listens and doesn't try to fix things? They're just there for you. So think about who the people are and what they're bringing to the table. And after you get through that, I just want you to think of all the people in your life, right? We all know some people who we feel so good when we're around them. They make us smile, they make us laugh, they make us feel great. And unfortunately, we also know those other people who you spend 5 minutes with them and it feels like somebody just sucked the life out of you. So I want you to have that contrast, right? Think about the good ones, think about the ones that don't feel so good, and start noticing why, right? And a really important question you could ask yourself right now is, which one are you? When people spend time with you, do they leave with a big smile on their face or do they leave feeling a little worse? And of course, we all have bad days. We all feel both ways, right? But which way are you most often when people spend time with you? Because being in relationships is not just about the other person. So we're going to talk about how we want to be treated. We're also going to talk about how we should treat the other people. Because in relationships, it's really important that we take responsibility for our own actions and that we know how we want to be treated. And that brings me to the last part I want to include in this little video, and that's the idea of the golden rule. And I'm sure many of you, if not all of you, have heard the idea that we should treat other people the way we want to be treated. And I think that's a really important thing to keep in mind, but I have an important question for you. When is the last time somebody asked you how you want to be treated? When I ask that in the classroom, I'm really surprised by the answers. A lot of people say elementary school, some people say never, but I am asking you that question right now. How do you want to be treated? And we don't all want to be treated the same way. We don't all want to spend the time with the same kind of people, but most of us would agree that we would like to be respected, maybe loved or cared for. I want you to take out another piece of paper and just write down those things. How do you want to be treated? Do you want to be treated like a king or a queen? Not everybody does, but here's the catch. If you want to be treated like a king or a queen, you also should want to treat your partners or your friends like kings and queens as well, because it's no fun being royalty by yourself. And the goal here is this idea of partnership, right? So when you're in a relationship with somebody, I want you to think of it as a partnership. And that's not just for being politically correct and acknowledging all of the different types of relationships. It's also literal, right? When you're in a partnership, it's equal parts. So when you think about this, are you bringing the same into the relationship as the other person is? And if it's equal like that, then you have a true partnership. But first, before you can have a partnership, you really need to know how you want to be treated. So, your goal for today is to think about the people in your life who are really bringing something to the table and to maybe even thank them for that, because I am a huge supporter of gratitude and actually telling the people that we love and care about how great they are, because some people need to hear that, especially nowadays. So make the list of the people, think about what they do, reflect a little bit on what kind of person you are, what you're bringing to the table, and then spend some time with this golden rule. How do you want to be treated? And is that how you're treating other people? I would love to hear some thoughts or reflections. At least tell your teacher. And if you have any questions, again, don't forget about the hotline number, and be sure to get my email or reach out anyway and let your teacher know what your thoughts are on this. And I will see you in the next video.